Good evening and welcome to the F1 2017 AOR Hype Energy F2 League on the PC Season 15, round number 11, the Austrian Grand Prix. My name is Thompson and joining me in the commentary box tonight, as usual, will be Julio Massa. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
So, what a great racetrack we have ahead of us with a lot of history, although we're not driving in the configuration that it was set off in the, I believe, Red Bull Ring, formerly A1 Ring, formerly known as Österreich Ring. So, yeah, a few name changes, but now it is in the hand of Red Bull. They have made a superb track out of it. 10 turns of pretty quick and pretty short track, to be fair. It says 9 turns here on the infographics, but I think it has been changed to 10, like last year or so. So it's officially 10, so the kink coming up to the second braking zone is a turn now. And yeah, just have a quick look at the standing as well before we set off. And Julio, what are your thoughts on our crazy championship this year?
This championship is lit, I can say that. 9 points at the top. Our early season points leader is now down in second after Singapore Grand Prix. 5 rounds to go with this one, if I'm right. My maths may be wrong.
No, that's right.
We still have 5 drivers fighting for the championship, so stay tuned because...
I mean, in theory, even people like Ian can still...
Very equal, and especially here at the Red Bull Ring, where with very short track, with very small time differences in quali laps, this will surely be a great race.
Yeah, and now switching on to the track action, we can see the first few flying laps are being set. At the moment, Vadgen, sorry, as I say that, Gerks with the fastest lap with the 1 minute 5.4. But obviously there's still a lot of people who have to set the laps. So we're going to wait and see after this first round who will be on top. It's a bit less hectic than usual in qualifying. Since the track is so short, you really have enough time to do a few runs if you want to. Unlike tracks like well, Spa maybe or Singapore, who have longer lap times, that can be quite tricky to even get 2 laps in and maybe fiddle around with the setup beforehand, and that's already your time over. But here, they should have enough time.
Yeah, it's usually a 3-run pole shootout, so we still have 7 minutes to go, and some of the guys have already gone out. Oh, and Gerks is disqualified from the session.
How did you do that?
He just, well, apparently he was facing the wrong way, and that was all for the game. And it's a shame because it was a great lap time, and now he will start from the back.
Yeah. And he is third in the championship?
Well, he is somewhere at the top.
So that will definitely hurt his championship ambitions.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see whether he can fight back. I think Austria should be a circuit where overtaking is possible. So
it is a circuit where overtaking is possible, so
we'll see where he ends up, but obviously it's always quite difficult to stay out of trouble if you start back there in the carbon zone.
Yeah. We have a little bit of peace on track.
So nobody's going out. Well, next round.
Slick is also coming out, so 2 championship rivals, 2 guys at the top are now going out. Nobody actually going for his second attempt. But it's interesting because nobody was great at the start of the season, and his form has sort of gone down. I don't know if you have the same feeling. He won first 2 out of 3 races, and
I mean, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Either nobody was just really good in the first few races, and now everybody has kind of caught up, maybe due to practice or just getting used to the league, or as you have said, maybe his pace has just dropped off. I mean, it's difficult to tell. I mean, if he would do a race in Australia again, we might be able to tell. But yeah, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, but remember also Australia was wet, and we've had those first few races of the season on wet tracks.
That's a good point, actually.
That's a good point. I mean, the last time he won was actually in Baku, I think. Round 3 of the season. Now it's round 11, and maybe he's missed the Bahrain Grand Prix. He wasn't in points like in Italy or somewhere else. Like, just saying that from my head. I don't have it written down, but he's been consistent in that top 5. But his last win came. Has gone. It's back, and his last win has been in Baku. So that's one interesting thing to say.
Yeah, and unfortunately I don't get down to time, so we'll have to wait and see until he crosses the line now, coming around turn 10, taking as much curb as he dares, and it's going to be a 1 minute 5.394, and that is a new fastest lap and provisional pole for the moment. But there are still 4 minutes remaining in the session, so we'll have to wait and see what the other drivers can do. Those are especially Vadkin, Slick, Smash, and yeah, usually Gurks, but he's out, so. And also, there might be a surprise driver. I mean, it's pretty close around here. You can see the drivers are all within a second.
Look, Skady with 1 minute 5.633 and AOR Apex with 1 minute 5.645. It's funny because they both are quite low, like in the lower end of the championship. I don't even remember if Apex has some points. He has some points, probably.
Yeah, it could be an indication that the track is improving quite rapidly as the session progresses. Seeing those two drivers who aren't usually this far up the order setting lap times like this, so I think we should see a lot of people improving now in the last 3 minutes.
Maybe someone going into 1 minute 4. That's a long way still to go, but possibly doable.
Seeing if I can find anyone who's on a fast lap. Doesn't really look like it.
Yes, most of them are coming into the pit lane.
Oh, that looks as if Smeej is on a fast lap actually. He's currently sitting in P10, and that is being only 4.5 tenths behind pole. So that is an indication just how close this field is at the moment.
Yeah, you overshoot one braking and you're way down in 10. This is how it actually looks. And it's especially visible on this track as well because it's so short.
So let's go on board with Smeech here for the last sector and those very fast 2 right-hand corners. Down into 5th, take a lot of curb on the exit here, open DRS and across the line, and it's going to be a 1 minute 5.7 for Smeech here. That puts him in P6 at the moment.
But still not what you want.
I mean, he has still fuel, so looks like he's going to go for a second run here.
And everyone is now starting to come out. 1 minute 20 to go. Nobody's fighting with, I think, Apex. Yeah, they're fighting for track position on their outlaps before the final attempt.
Yeah, I don't know if that is necessary, to be fair, but yeah, if I were Apex, I'd just let nobody go, because usually if nobody's at the top somewhere, so there's no point in holding others up. And if I let's say start my lap 2 seconds behind him, I know I'll have clear track.
It just looks like yesterday's Red Bull qualifying woes. whatever we could call it.
So 30 seconds left in the session. We're on board with Vadkin here, who is currently in the middle sector here now. Coming through this very fast left-hander, 6th gear early on the throttle, because that will gain you a lot of time down this straight here. Smeech has retired from the session, so he won't be improving on his lap time. He's currently in 7th, as Vadkin now shooting round the last corner. He actually chooses to go in 5th here. Some people try to get run in 6th, and what will Vadkin's side be? And it's a 1 minute 5.456. At the moment is 3rd for him. At the moment everybody is on track. Assassin is the first one to cross the line after the 0 second mark. Joni John also hasn't really improved. Ake hasn't set a time, and now we still have those top few runners. Vadkin won't have enough fuel to actually challenge here. What is Slick doing? He's still on a fast lap. And we have a yellow flag in Sector 3. I can't see what that is, but it's not on the official board, so it must have been invalidated. So that's...
You've missed one thing. I didn't want to interrupt you, but Matthias got out absolutely out of nowhere, and he's up into P2.
So is someone still on a flying lap?
I don't think so. Like, everyone's crossed the line.
Doesn't seem
Vadkan's
like
coming.
it.
Vadkan has stopped on track, and Matthias also doesn't have enough fuel. They are the only guys on track. Well, great pole up by nobody. Matthias, I mean, he's been okay this season, but P2 in quali, that's his best effort, I think.
Yeah, definitely good lap time there from the Polish driver, I think it is.
Yeah, he's Polish.
So yeah, a pretty tumble up starting grid, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But the only one who is supposed to be up, or at least feels as if he's supposed to be up there, is actually nobody in pole position. And look how close that was. Half a tenth and 6. Yes, no, sorry. Yeah, half a tenth and 6 100ths of a second to P2 and 3 there. Skatey also with a very good effort there. High starting position for him in P4. Apex in 5th, also good effort from him. Ian, who's also always pretty decent up there in 6th. Calder also good effort, not even 3/10 behind. Smeej 8th, Slick 9th, and Smash in 10th position. Round up the top 10 for you as I try to lose my English. Yeah, I'm just losing my language here. We all know that intro, and I just got the information in the chat. Thank you very much. Dry weather for the race, and the source for that information is Smeej. So thank you very much for letting us know that via friends of yours who watch the stream. So good evening and welcome. And now we're just waiting for the drivers to get ready. They are on the grid at the moment as we have a look here at the beautiful pits that have been built recently as this track was renewed. And now we've got 17 seconds to go. I'm already getting fiddly nervous because I'm excited.
Yeah.
10
if you ask me just quickly, the championship contenders are like all over the grid, really, from the top to the back of the grid. So it's going to be a cracker.
It's definitely going to be 4 lights, 5 lights, and they're going to hold, and they're off. 5 lights, and away they go. Slick already. No, sorry, that's Smeej actually has a very, very bad start. He dropped back down into 14th position here, and that is Skatey and Ake actually already passed nobody there. So he, sorry, no. They're shown as if they're passed, but they're not, which is interesting. But that got me confused. So you can see they're scrambling into turn 3 here, going 3 wide at some places. And we can see the McLaren there and the Ferrari are going side by side. And looks like everybody got through somewhat cleanly, although there have been a few people who have already dropped quite a few positions.
Yes, most notably Ian, who's lost half of his front wing. Going into turn 3, he hit the back of Vadkan and lost his left end plate, so he's now at the back of the field. It's all played beautifully for nobody. Matthias was still fighting with Vatkan. AR Apex, he's going wide now in turn 9, but he's still managed to point it to keep the car pointing the right way, and he's now up into P4. Skady in P5 is trying to attack, but he's only showing himself in the mirrors, and apart from half lost front wing by Ian, everyone seems to have gone around quickly. Ian has retired from the session, by the way, so he's like probably rage quit. And that's all.
Yeah, that is definitely very unfortunate here. And having just a look, Sonny lost 2 spots here, so he must have made a mistake coming into turn 3. He's now down into 14th position.
And Nameless is up to P6. Smash is now up to P9, attacking Slick going out of turn 4. A beautiful, beautiful passing maneuver. Nameless, meanwhile, I said that earlier, he's got back into P6 after overtaking Koldo, who is now going again quite well, at least at the early stages of the race. Slick is trying to fight back. Gerks, meanwhile, is already up into P13 after starting in 17th place. Everyone is still within a second of each other, so this is probably the biggest train we've seen this season.
Matthias actually set the fastest lap of the race in lap 2.
He's at 5.
He is in slipstream though, so that will definitely help him. Now the question is, can the Polish driver attack nobody who is fighting for the championship? And Matthias, he's not really in the fight. I think he, in theory, could still win. But obviously, nobody's main rivals are drivers like Vadkin, Smash, or Slick, or Gerks, who are a bit down the order, except for Vadkin.
Well, there are still many drivers who can win theoretically this championship, given that there are still 125 points on the table, but you have to agree that many or most of them need to have that sort of luck of top 5 retiring in all the races to go.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Ian has actually come on the stream here and said a bit about him retiring, and it doesn't seem as if he's too happy with another driver, so I bet they'll have something to talk about after the race.
Yeah, meanwhile Gerks is now already up in P10 and he's trying to attack Assassin.
Yes,
so
Smeech dropped 2 positions there, so he must have made a mistake.
And already Gerks is on the inside in turn 3, still behind Assassin, but he will have the DRS. Assassin is probably the only driver on track without DRS. No, Koldo also doesn't have the DRS. But we'll now try to go down the inside in turn 4. Now I'm losing my English language. I'm sorry for that. Going through turn 5, and now Gerks is up into P9. 2 seconds now behind Slick.
And Assassin hit the rear of Gerks, then lost quite a bit of his front wing and went into the gravel trap, and now he's lost.
Yeah, but it's all his fault if you ask me. He tried to go down the inside somewhere where there wasn't any space, so that was a risk that didn't pay off. Matthias, nobody with a time penalty for track extending, but Matthias is all over his back. Through the king of turn 2 now, and we're breaking into turn 3. DRS will be, of course, available for the Ferrari man. DRS now wide open. The track falls down here a little bit, but now the braking into turn 4. It's possible to overtake here. They both lock up, and Polish driver is still behind nobody.
Yeah, nobody is struggling with pace at the moment. Can't quite get away from the drivers behind. And looking at how the grid is lining up at the moment, it seems as if DRS has a very strong effect on you. And nobody being in the lead doesn't have that advantage that the drivers behind him all have. And as someone goes very wide there, I think that might have been Skady.
That was Koldo, I think. We have a nice train fighting for the podium.
Oh, and that's a big bit of
Yeah.
oversteer there from nobody coming out of turn 1, but somehow he still got the power down and had a decent run out of the corner. I don't know how he managed to hold onto that.
It's maybe an early sign of the tires going off. Remember, this track, especially in the game, is very hard on tires. So maybe his tires are starting to go off, and that may be one of the reasons why we have a whole train behind him, but somehow not capable of overtaking him just now. Lap 6 out of 36, so still a long way to go. It'll be very crucial if you pit that early, because it would basically push you into a 2-stop.
Yeah, you want to try and take the tyres to lap 12, maybe 13, and as again, a few people run wide in Rint's corner there, so that's not really what you want to do.
And Smash was a victim of that, and he got a penalty. He's now up the inside of Caldo, and he's past the Force India, so Smash is back in P6, another championship contender. We have 2 championship contenders in the top 5. Matthias, meanwhile, is the leader. I'm sorry. That was a quick change. He went down the inside in turn 3, and he's now having the lead. The question is, can he... Oh, the first question is, can nobody regain that lead going into turn 5, maybe turn 6? He's still behind the Ferrari. So now the question is, can the Ferrari start and build his own advantage? Or will the train still look like that, but with a different leader?
And look how the top 5 are now all squabbling there for full position. They're all very close to each other, not even half a second between those cars. It's just like a train there coming down the start-finish straight now. And yeah, it looks like Matthias can hold on to that position at the moment. The question obviously is going to be, can he pull away? And we'll have to wait and see if nobody will continue to lose positions, or if he can now use the DRS to at least slot in behind Matthias and maybe save a little bit of tyres here at the back end of the stint to get into that pit window that he wants to.
Yeah, meanwhile, Smash seems like he has quite a good pace. Maybe not that considerably better pace than Skatey, but he seems to start catching the train. And he also tries to pull few guys with him. And surprise, surprise, Gerks is already at the back of the train, of the second train, fighting for P6. He's already all over the back of Slick. So Gerks is the man on fire for me right now.
Yeah, he has already gained 8 positions in 8 laps, so that is a great run for the Haas driver at the moment.
Katie in the pit lane, first of the drivers to pit. I'm sorry I've interrupted you.
And that is very early lap 9.
Yeah.
The earliest you want to go is 10, even better 11 or 12. So
that's
we'll have to
probably
wait and see if Skatey can take those tyres to the end. But he might have to go onto a 2-stop, and Johnny John also now gets a penalty. So,
meanwhile, Gerks is fighting with Slick through turn 3. He's overtaken Caldo. He's still behind Slick, but now he has the DRS going down into turn 4. There's a popular passing opportunity, and he's on the inside. He's braking, and he is now up into P6, a second behind Smash. I don't know what happened there, because they were in the train, and Smash has left the train. He's now a second behind AOR Apex, but Gerks on super soft tires, that's also worth noting. He's in P6, and he is in a very good position for a podium position today.
Yeah, definitely. Being that he had to start from the back, or outside the top 10, obviously he had free choice of tyres here, and went with the super soft tyres, and now as the ultras are going off, his tyres are really coming alive, and he can show his pace, and it's going to be easier on the tyre wear for him, because he can decide what he wants to do depending how the race goes, but the one stops should be very easily doable for him. And at the moment, he definitely has grip advantage towards the guys who started on the Autosofts.
Yeah, meanwhile, AOR Apex got a 3-second time penalty. And we were asking a question, can Matthias stretch his lead? He's now 8/10 ahead of nobody, and he's a little bit quicker over the lap. So we have that. We have the answer. He's quite good, and smashes at the back of the train, fighting for P3. He's just behind Apex. He seems to have better tires. I think again, Vatkan is starting to lose tire grip earlier than the rivals around him. Smash looks good. Gerx looks good. Matthias looks good. We may well have a very surprising podium today at the Red Bull Ring.
And Skatey, who was in the pits very early on that fresh set of tyres, instantly sets the fastest lap of the race. So seeing how much more pace fresh tyres have, I guess there will be some people coming into the pits at the end of this lap.
Just like the beginning, the earliest pit window to change the tires for the softs probably, because if you want to run a one-stopper, it's the only possibility of making it to the finish line. And now let's see, Matthias, 1.1 second of advantage, and he goes into the pit lane. Nobody also goes into the pit lane. Vatkan goes into the pits. Smashes up in P4 and he stays out. Apex comes in. Gerx won't come in because he is on different strategy. So for now, Apex got a 5-second stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and let's see who will emerge first. It seems like it will be Matthias. Or no, he's being jumped by nobody. He's being held in the pit lane and nobody is in the net lead.
Well, that is a bit unfortunate for Matthias. Now we will have to again overtake nobody here, and we can see all the drivers are going onto the soft tyres as we have expected, and they will try and go to the end of the race on those soft tyres.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gerx is all over the back of Smash. 4/10 between them. Smash's tires have gone off the cliff probably because Gerx is so much faster than Smash. And now going through turn 8. Smash will come into the pit lane and Gerx will lead the race after starting from P17 on the grid. That's a great achievement already. It's only lap 12 out of, well, starting lap 13 out of 36, but he is in a great position to actually have the finish on the podium today.
Yeah, it's just a testament to what a great league and drivers we have this season. Everything is possible, and they're all so closely tied together. As Smash has a bit of a luck up and nearly hits the wall there coming out of the pits, and he will rejoin in front of Slick and behind Vatkan. So that is, what was that, effective P4?
Yeah, maybe. But I'm not sure. Well, Smash is behind Vatkan, and so yeah, that's net people. You're right. But the question is, where will Gerx emerge after his pit stop? And he will pit in probably 5 laps time, maybe 6?
Well, according to his pit strategy, his pit window was between laps 16 and 20. So he'll at least do another 3 laps on this set.
Yeah, so I was a little bit too optimistic. But 3 laps to go. Well, the question is, how much faster is nobody than him? How much faster is Matthias faster? How much faster is everyone? He almost overtaken Smash on track. Remember that. So he might emerge around P5. Even if he emerges behind Smash, he may be just a little bit behind with fresher set of tires.
Yeah, he should rejoin somewhere P10-ish.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mr. Anka is in a very, at least on my screen, in a very weird kind of interaction with it. I nameless.
So I just wanted to correct, that is current P10-ish, so
Yeah.
it's going to be effective P5.
With a beautiful glitch, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're kind of glued together. This looks very weird.
Yeah, Mr. Anka was on top of my nameless for a minute, but now they are okay, and again they are glued together, and Mr. Anka is, wow, this is bad. It's almost pornography right now. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, that looked like a bit of desync there.
Yeah. So
we're glad they didn't crash on that. So I was currently second and Mr. Anka in P3. They haven't yet stopped though.
Nobody is in P6, and Matthias is just behind him. Koldo got a 3-second time penalty. Matthias is on the inside in turn 3, but he only showed himself in the mirrors. And now, DRS, I think he's way too far behind. It was an optimistic thought to go there and try to stick his nose, but he's lost out on it more than gained.
Yeah, he decided to stick the nose in at the last second there coming into turn 3, but there wasn't really a gap to go there. He was too far behind, and it really hurt his run out of turn 3 coming down to turn 4, and it just cost him time really. So that wasn't one of the smartest moves. You can see he really wants to be in the lead and challenge for what would be his first win here, but he's just a bit too impatient there, as we have Skatey actually going past Joni John there in the front of the shot, which is currently for P3, but again, we'll still have to stop.
Meanwhile, Inamus came into the pit lane. He was 5 seconds behind Gerx, so we can count where could possibly Gerx emerge on the track, and he may be behind Slick, maybe just a little bit ahead of him. Yeah. That's my quick maths. Lap 16 out of 36.
Yeah, so that means Gerx's pit window has now opened. The question is, will he come into the pits? And it looks like he will. Yes, he does. So Gerx current leader now in for his one and only pit stop. I'm guessing he's gonna put on the soft tyres, so he's gonna be on the same tyres as everybody around him, but they're gonna be 4 or 5 laps fresher, so that will be to his advantage. And the question is, where is the Haas driver going to emerge? It should be somewhere around Slick's apex kind of territory there. So we're going to just switch to the Toro Rosso there. Slick now went round the first corner, as has the Toro Rosso. Where's Gerx emerged? And he is right between the two cars. So good guesswork there.
That was actually good maths, man. But for now, it's Mr. Anka at the top. He started on soft, so he's still going. Skating in P2, Johnny John in P3. So they are out of sync. And now nobody's starting to stretch his leg. He's 8 tenths ahead of Matthias. So he's going well. Smash is 1.4 seconds behind Vadka. That's P4. Net P4, he was jumping on the sausage carrots there. Slick in P8, Gerx in P9, half a second behind. Let's keep an eye on Gerx, because he's had a great pace on those super stocks. He's on 6 or 7 laps younger or fresher. Oh, and that's Apex in the wall! And he's retired from the session. That was a big impact. Going out of turn 10, he went around and retired.
The Toro Rosso team really has to check their wheel attachments, as I see wheels rolling down the front straight, and as drivers have to avoid the wrecked car there. Obviously, we don't have safety cars or virtual safety cars enabled here in the league, so he'll just stay there for about a lap and then disintegrate.
Yeah, that's interesting. Those wheel tethers didn't work here. But this is a very disappointing weekend for Toro Rosso. double DNF after great qualifying. They were both in top 6 after qualifying. And they have both retired. Mr. Anka in the pit lane. Skady is still going. Nobody is now in P3. Well, in P2 actually. Net P1 of course. And let's see. Where is Gerks? Gerks is already ahead of Slick, so we've lost him overtaking Slick. Because of that, and Johnny John has retired. It's a shame. But we've lost Gerks overtaking Slick, so Gerks is now in P6, 1.1 seconds behind Smash. If he overtakes Smash, he will need to close down a 2-second gap after behind to Vatkan, and then he will be in the outright fight for the podium. He still has 18 laps, well 17 laps to go. It's possible.
And now the only one that still has to make a stop is Skatey, and then after that we will have the standings. But yeah, as we can see at the moment, nobody is leading the race.
Yeah.
Matthias is in second. He's close to trade by Vatkan there. I haven't actually noticed that yet. So Vatkan not only has dropped off a little bit from nobody, but also he's now under pressure from the McLaren driver, who is currently 5th in the championship, on 26 points behind, if I'm right off the top of my head. So Vatkan also one of the championship contenders. Behind him, Smash, also his teammate, also in contention, and Smash is now under pressure from Gerks, who has a little look there into turn 4. Smash doesn't really get a good exit there. Gerks will go side by side with him, but really try and go around the outside. Then no, he tucks in for now, but I bet that on the next bit of straight, he's going to be right there.
Yeah, he will be. He has a lot of fuel saved. 1.6 laps worth of excess fuel. So he's in a great position for attacking.
He definitely is so.
Pressure tires, loads of fuel. He's looking great. Matthias got a 3-second time penalty. It's interesting because I think Vatkan didn't get any penalty, so it seems like Vatkan is in the net lead after penalties are applied.
Yeah, that might be true. I haven't seen Vatkan get a penalty yet either. Matthias and nobody definitely have. But Gerks hasn't still found a way past Smash here. So is he going to have a look into turn 4? No, he's going to back off.
Great defensive driving by Smash. Smash is making mistakes again in turn 4. He's locking up. He's having bad exit out there.
Sorry for that. I just had a small screen freeze. I hope that didn't translate into the stream. I'm not quite sure. But looks like everything is fine again.
They will see it in half a minute. But I lost myself. Gerks is behind Smash. He's still not attacking at every single corner. But if you have to find a weak spot in Smash's driving, it might be turn 4 because he's made a mess in that turn, second time in a row. Nobody got another 3-second time penalty, so he could be relegated quite far. I named this with another time penalty. Slick is in P7, so let's keep an eye on him because after the penalties are applied, nobody could actually lose some points to Slick, or at least Slick can actually stay in front in the championships now.
And Gerks again hasn't found a way past Smash on this 22nd lap, and it's starting to become a bit dire here for him, because he knows every lap that he stays behind Smash hinders him from progressing towards the front where he wants to be on his alternate strategy. So Vatkan now gets a 3-second time penalty, so
now it's Matthias who can win the race, who will win the race.
And Skatey now is into the pits for his final stop of the race, and he will put on a fresh set of super soft tyres.
That's a long stint on those tires, by the way.
Yeah, that was a reasonably long stint, I agree.
Yeah. And now, Garrett with the DRS going into turn 4 again. What is that? Rich fuel mix. Defensive driving by Smash. He will go around, he will drift wide in turn 4. And now again, going through turn 5 now, they are side by side. So will now Garrett stay in front? This is fight for P4 now, and that is Garrett's finally in P4. And only 8/10 behind Vatkin. So guess what? I think Garrett doesn't have any penalty. I may be wrong. But for now, it's Garrett who can win that race.
Yeah, definitely a great move from the Haas driver there. Using the good run, he got out of turn 4. He kind of peaked that spot on the previous few laps. Saw that Smash was not very strong in turn 4, and just used it to his advantage. Could see you use a really wide line on entry to get a great run out of there, and then just bravely hung it around the outside in turn 5, and that was move done for him. And now next up is the second McLaren of that.
For me, it was a move of the day. I'm not sure if you will agree, but that was one of the moves of the day, certainly.
It will definitely be in contention.
Yeah.
And looking at the penalties that drivers have and the gaps, if Gerks now also manages to get past Vatkin, he is in a really decent shot to actually win the race. And you have to consider he started last. He started last, and he might win the race. So that is just how crazy this league is.
And Vatkin is having, I think he's starting to have problems with tires. So because he's dropped off quite significantly, 1.7 seconds behind Katie with the fastest lap of the race, but he's on a new set of super soft tires, so he has every right to do it. And now Gerks on the inside, going into turn 3, he will have the DRS, so the drag race into turn 4, and it is not for now. Gerks in P3, of course. He's still behind Vatkin. Will be trying to go around the outside, over and under, but it didn't happen. So he's still behind Garrix, unfortunately, but it's a matter of time because Garrix is only defending by his will because his tires seem to have gone off.
You mean Vatkin is defending?
Vatkin, yeah, of course, Vatkin.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to make the same move against Vatkin as he did to Smash there, but he missed his braking spot by like maybe 3, 4, 5-ish meters, and then ran out of space a little bit, and also Vatkin blocked him off for the over and under there, and that's why he couldn't get that good run out of turn 4, and wasn't able to pull that same move. What we can see now with the DRS, sorry, not with the DRS, with the slipstream rather. He's trying to go around the outside now in turn 3. Vatkin goes defensive. We have to have a look in his rearview mirrors as well because Smash is right there. And Gerks now with the DRS and with a bit of good traction there coming out of the corner between turns 3 and 4. He managed to get past Vatkin and that is now in P3. And he's only got 3 or let's say 2.5 more seconds to go to the leaders of Matthias and nobody there. And he is in a super position to grab that win today.
Especially when the leaders are fighting, and they are fighting fiercely. 2 tenths between them. Well, now 4 tenths. But Matthias has the DRS and tries to overtake nobody. And that is a great thing for Garrix because the fighting leaders mean they are going at a slower pace, and that will mean he will have an easier job of catching up to them. That will certainly be one of the greatest victories in this season probably, but I don't know if even in the history.
Yeah, and Matthias had a look there coming into turn 3,
yeah,
but he couldn't pull the move off, and you can see Gerks now has already caught up half a second in half a lap due to that battling, having a backwards shots here from the Ferrari down to the Haas of Gerks, who's the next car. We can see him there in the back of the shots with the McLaren fiercely fighting behind. Actually going to have a look at what they're doing here, but Smash wasn't really close enough. Vatkin jumping over the sausage curbs there, but Smash didn't get a good run either. So the positions between those two stay unchanged at the moment.
These sausage curbs are killers on this track. But look now, Gerks is only what, 1.6 seconds behind Matthias. Mr. Anke with a time penalty. It doesn't really change anything. But Gerks will catch Matthias and nobody in 2, maybe 3 laps time, and he will be alongside them. Remember, he has fresher tires. Both of the drivers in front have less fuel on board than Gerks has. So he's in a great position to win that race outright, not even on penalties.
Yeah, as he has a little bit of a lock-up coming into turn 4, but looks as if it hasn't done him any harm. And as you have said, it's only 1.5 seconds now to the next car in front of him, who's Matthias. It'll be interesting to see how he overtakes the Ferrari driver, since Matthias will also have the DRS from nobody, and or off of nobody, let's put it that way. So it's going to be a bit more difficult for Gerks to actually make the move, because DRS effect is equalized between the Ferrari and him. But I mean, he can hope that the 2 cars ahead fight too much, which they might now do coming into turn 3 here. And yeah, that is the Ferrari going for the move there. And as I wanted to say, as the Ferrari passed, there's still a drag race coming down turn 4, and that's exactly what I meant. Gerks can now profit from the 2 fighting, and maybe if the 2 make a mistake doing that, he can just snap the lead away from the 2 as they're still side by side. You can see now from Gerks' perspective how much he is closing up to those 2, and Matthias is now round the outside. Can he make that move stick around the outside as Gerks has done previously towards Smash? They're still going side by side now. Ferrari will have the inside for the next few corners, and now Gerks with a great one. Is he going to make it 3 wide? Gerks goes to the middle here at Rinch curve, but he backs out of it at the moment, and now he's going to go in through the inside of both cars here, coming down into turn 10, and that is Gerks in the lead, starting from the last position of the starting grid, and now he's leading this Austrian Grand Prix. What a great race from the Haas driver, and a great effort towards his championship ambitions.
This is one of the greatest moves. He made a great move earlier today, but this is the greatest move of the race.
And now Smash, sorry to interrupt, Smash actually going up the inside of Matthias here, and Vatkin also went up the inside there, and that was a 3 wide into turn 3, and that lost Matthias another 2 positions, and he went from 2nd to 5th now. Now he's under pressure from Smash, from Slick as well. As I'm starting to lose my voice here. And it's just incredible. Matthias are dropping like flies as this train that came back from behind. I saw some carbon flying here. Now his teammate, a Nameless, also getting into the battle here. Matthias just dropping down like a dead stone after this train just steamrolled the leaders here. And nobody can hold on to 2nd at the moment. But he soon will be under pressure from behind as well, I'd bet. But he tries to stay with Gerks now to kind of hold on to his chances to win this race. But again, we have a few drivers who also have penalties that will be applied at the end of the race. So nothing is safe at the moment as Matthias gets another one of those penalties.
You can call the last 2, maybe 1.5 laps, 3 or 2 minutes of pure madness, because that was actually what happened. I was trying to say that Gerks made actually the best move, maybe even of the season, after to overtake both Nobody and Matthias to take the lead. And that will be an icing of the cake of the one of the greatest wins in the history of this league. I mean, that's great. That's big. What I'm saying, it may be too big, but for me, it certainly is at the. It can fight for that title.
Yeah, Smash has now switched position with his teammates. Might have been a bit of team orders, but it might have been a legit overtake.
Yeah.
I mean, Smash was having good pace. We can see Vadkin had not so good run out of turn 10, and now he has to defend from Slick, who is behind him, and will try and take advantage of Vadkin's fading pace at the back end of his stint.
Manes also seems to have hit the cliff, because he's now in P9, and he was literally 2 laps ago, even in the lead. So that's how crazy this league is. It's still Slick can finish on the podium, can finish this race on the podium and defend his championship lead. For right now, he was 9 points ahead of nobody going into this round. Right now, he will be 1 point ahead of him after if they finish in that order. This is how bonkers this league has gone. This race has gotten literally 2-3 laps ago.
Yeah, it has gone absolutely nuts, that is for sure. And we can see Gerks has now managed to slowly pull a gap out towards nobody here. And Smash now in third, slowly closing into the Force India driver. Obviously Smash doesn't have the bigger tyre advantage towards nobody like Gerks had, but he has always been pretty decent towards the end of his stints. And now slowly closing in as Skatey actually not got past Slick yet, but they're side by side here coming into turn 4. And Skatey is actually going to go for another move right away against Vadkin. Yes, he does on the fresher tyres here. Skatey now moves up into 4th position, which is a great effort there from the Sauber driver. And Vadkin with a small slip up here. Now he's going to be directly under the pressure from Slick, but he can't make it stick. No rhyming pun intended here.
You can become a poet with that rhyming thing. But we've missed one thing. I think Skatey must have had problems on the beginning of the race. He must have had more pit stops than the other drivers, because he was on super soft tires on the last stint, and he's now on super soft tires here. So
yeah, Skatey was one of actually the only one who did a 2-stop strategy.
Yeah, there's a 2-stop, and that 2-stop is working. It's working brilliantly here. Matthias has somewhat hold on to 9th place, ahead of Nameless, and he's 2 seconds behind. We have a train fighting for P5. Slick, Coldo, Mr. Anka, and Mr. Anka assassin with another 3-second time penalty. And Smash seems to have caught up to nobody.
Yeah, he definitely has. He's now within that 1 second DRS magic window, and he's now going to make even more inroads.
Yeah,
that is actually Slick and Vadkin dealing here.
Yeah. Slick has gone into P5 on that little straightaway to Jochen Wind curve, curve or whatever you want, in whatever language you want to call it. But that is now Slick in P5, so that he will again. So for now, he is 1 point ahead of nobody coming into the next race. How bonkers. This championship is lit.
Although that might change if Smash now gets involved into the fight for that 2nd position. There's only 1.5 laps to go, so he has to kind of get on with it now, because he's running out of time, that is for sure.
It's flown past this race, and also, yeah, it's just flown past. No, Gerks is just starting he will start the final lap in after that corner here. That was a great win, probably the greatest win of his career. Smashed 9 tenths behind nobody, but I don't think he will have the chance to overtake nobody. We will see what the penalties will change in the race order, because it may get really, really interesting.
Yeah, and looking at Gerk's pace, I think what he's trying to do is pull out 3 seconds to have a penalty buffer towards nobody. And as I say that, there is a 3.0. But Smash is now very close behind nobody. But he's not close enough yet to make a move, and he is running out of time because we only have about half a lap now left of this Austrian Grand Prix. You can see how much he is fighting for grip here, but he just can't get more out of those tyres. And there's a last minute position change there between Ake and Smeej here. They're going for position 12 and 13, and you can see Smeej actually has a puncture on the front right. And now Gerks is coming round the final corner in his Haas. He did a last to first challenge, to be fair. He finishes on the top step of the podium after starting in last position with his super soft strategy, and that is an absolute great effort for him, and also great coming towards his championship standing. And Skatey, actually, after penalties, Skatey finishes in second, so very good result for the Sauber driver here. And Smash will finish on the podium in third position. Slick is finished in fourth, and that already is the race over, and I'll show you a bit more of the standings in a second. But what an incredible race we had.
This is just incredible, and I was counting that, well, Slick will be 1 point ahead of nobody coming into the next race. He will actually now be 11 points ahead. I don't remember how far behind was Garrix, because it may actually be Garrix who can slip
9 points.
Come into P2. 9 points. No, Garrix?
No, 11, sorry.
11. 11 behind Slick?
Yeah.
So he is the championship leader now.
So that is the final
by 2 points.
Final standings there for you guys. So Gerks finishes in first position. You can see their grid 17th, 1 stop, and finished in first. Skatey, good result. Penalty-free race, finishes in second. Smash third. Slick fourth. P5 there is nobody, as I'm trying to figure out the name. Calder in 6, then 7th should be Vatkan, and now people are leaving and I can't read the names anymore, but you can see 9th is Matthias, 10th should be I Nameless, and that is the results for you guys.
This is an incredible race, probably the best race of the season. I mean, Baku was great because of the chaos happening, but that one was also great. And with the championship, I think now Gerks will be the championship leader again. Yeah. What a season.
It is just absolutely crazy this season.
Yeah. Let's just wait for the drivers, because I'm literally waiting to see what Gerks can say about this race, because it was the greatest race of his career.
Good jolly evening, Gerks. What
Good evening.
Race.
I'm speechless, man.
Me too.
I mean,
yeah.
This I mean, it's not a weekend, but it's an evening. But this race weekend just already started off so incredibly tense. The whole field was so packed, and it was just so difficult to get a good time in, because every 1,000th of a second counted. And then there's Mr. Gerks, who has a bit of bad luck and gets disqualified and has to start for the back. You must have been very, very disappointed, mustn't you?
Yes, of course. I was very nervous because I knew I could have done the pole, but I have no idea why I got disqualified.
it was just a weird thing because I think you've had a pole time actually, the best time of the session. I don't even know if nobody was faster than you,
I think he was, but
but
I
your time
could have improved.
was faster or second faster or fastest in that session. So already great pace there, but the strategy was also beautiful and great. And well, what else can I say? Great overtaking because the way you've taken the lead, I mean, probably the overtake of the season.
Yeah, before we get onto the race, we'll just do a little one of those things that they now do before they play the anthems, or when they wait in the small rooms, they actually show a few fan tweets, and it looks like you have a fan as well, Gurks. Alan T says, Gurks, God of F2, nobody can challenge him. I don't know if that is a pun or not, but yeah, just great effort, starting from last on the grid and finishing in first. That must have been a roller coaster of a race for you.
I really don't know what to say. I'm still speechless, and it was an incredible race.
Yeah.
So I think Julio did the quick calculations, and I think he should be in lead of the championship now.
But like, basically, 2 points ahead of nobody. Or no, nobody. Ahead of Slick. Is shaping up.
That is definitely close. So now, as the championship leader, you are obviously everybody's main rival. Are you going to put yourself on a bit more pressure next race, or how will you approach the last 4 rounds, considering you are now actually leading the championship?
I'll do my best. Don't worry.
Yeah, leading is sometimes a bit annoying, I'd say, because you've got nothing to gain but everything to lose. So I'm gonna wish you best of luck. Obviously, I do that with all drivers.
Thanks.
But yeah, what an incredible race, and also good evening to Smash.
Good evening.
Yeah, well, another decent race for you. Tell us a bit about qualifying. How concerned were you with your qualifying pace, or was that just down to how tightly packed the field was today?
Well, pretty much short answer was that qualifying was absolutely disgusting, but basically on my first run I went from the pits, and basically I literally after that broke my front wing going out of the pits. I just hit the wall and lost like half bit of my front wing, so I decided to go for 2 laps right after I came back to pits, and I knew that I could easily do very low 1.5. So I knew that I had really big chance to be on pole, but on my hot lap I went a little bit wide, and I think I've got pretty harsh warning and invalidated lap time, which basically put me down to P10. But yeah.
Yeah, qualifying definitely didn't seem optimal for you, but then the race was quite different. You moved slowly but steadily, moved up position for position, and you finished on the podium. So how was the race from your first row seat? Let's put it that way. Sorry.
Well, at the start, I've got stuck behind Coldo, but I noticed that the top group isn't actually pulling away that much, so I knew that if I can overtake Coldo as quickly as I can, I might actually have a chance to win the race, or at least fight for win. I wanted to pit at the end of lap 11, but I saw that Vatkan was already pitting, so I had to stay out for another lap, which made me lose a bit of time because of the undercut. Also, I almost broke my wing going out of the pits again.
Yeah, we
And
saw that.
yeah, that was hard in mouth moment. But yeah, after that I got stuck behind Watkan. I tried to pass him, but I think Gurux managed to pass me at that point, and there's like freeway battle for P3, and I tried to pass Watkan as quickly as I could. But then I knew that I saw that Gurux literally just pulled away from rest of us and was in P1. So I knew that win probably isn't possible today, and I tried to bring it home for at least P2. And going into turn 3, I feel like I was pretty close to Matthias, but I don't know if he didn't notice me or anything, but at least on my side of things, I think he pushed me off a little bit of the track, and I just couldn't do anything about that. I just locked up and couldn't even turn properly for that corner. But after I crossed the line, I was happy with P2. That was immediately taken away from me because of Skaty having no penalties.
Yeah, that was definitely good effort there from Skaty. We were surprised as well, considering he had that good qualifying and then that decent race and penalty-free race, and again having no penalties proved to be very, very useful in this league, especially because it's so tight and 3 seconds can just be a huge amount of time. I'm just having a look. It doesn't seem as if any of the other drivers are ready for an interview, so I don't want to pull this out too long. So we're gonna end on this note. Again, thanks to the drivers and to AOR for making these great races possible. Thank you, Julio, for being in the commentary box with me as per usual.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Probably one of the best races of the season. Thank you very much.
I'll wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Also, a big shout out, obviously, to our sponsors, Hype Energy, who sponsor our F1 leagues, and Elgato, who make our streams possible. And I hope we'll see all of you at the next race, which is going to be Malaysia. That is going to be in 2 weeks' time, since we have a break week next week for the real life British Grand Prix. And thank you everybody for watching. I hope we'll see you at the next race, as I said, on the 15th, Malaysia, same place, same time. See you soon. Bye bye.